Hi, this is Paul. Welcome to my spoilers review of Shazam. Okay, this review, of course, obviously is going to have spoilers in it, and I saw it today. I loved it. If you want to see my spoilers free review, follow the link in the description box to my main channel, Trepacer, and then you'll see my spoilers free review of Shazam. Okay, this review is going to have spoilers in it, so just want to be forewarned. Okay, going into this movie. Like I said, I love this movie. It was one of my most anticipated movies of this year. Ever since I saw the first trailer, I absolutely fell in love with it, and I definitely wanted to see it. I definitely am familiar with Shazam from the TV show. I used to watch it as a kid. The show used to come on CBS. Okay, it's a cheesy show to come on CBS, and then of course I read the comics, and of course I've seen the animated movies and stuff with Shazam in them. Okay, so I did love the character, so I was looking forward to this, and it didn't disappoint to me. I'm going to talk about some things most of the things I loved about this movie, and I'll show any nitpicks I'll say for towards the end, okay? But I absolutely love this movie. First of all, I love Zachary Levi as Shazam, the grown-up Billy Batson. I thought he was absolutely fantastic playing this man-child, because let's face it, he still has the mind of a child, just in a grown-up body. And I think Zachary Levi played it very, very well, because especially when he first gets his powers and stuff, and he goes to Freddie Freeman and he gets him to show him, they get to test their powers and stuff. You can see the absolutely fun and joy that they're having with it, and it's just a wonder to behold. And the chemistry between Zach Levi and Jack Dylan Grazer, who plays Freddie Freeman, his foster brother, is fantastic. They play well off each other, and I like their chemistry together, and it's just fantastic. And you even see the evolution of their relationship in the beginning of it, of course, because Billy Batson is, he's worried. Not worried, but he's kind of withdrawn at first when he gets put into this foster system, because he spends the first, you can tell in the beginning of the movie, he's been spending most of his young adult life looking for his mother, who abandoned him when he was young, and I'll talk more about that later. Okay, he's looking for every Batson in the phone book, basically, and you see that he's running from foster home to foster home when he gets caught and gets put into this foster home with this foster family, this mother, father, and their so I think it's four of them, right? No, it's Freddie Freeman, Mary, Eugene, Pedro, and Eugene. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, so it's five of them. Yeah, right. Freddie Freeman, Mary, Darla, Eugene, and Pedro. Yeah, so it's those five. Anyway, he gets put into the foster home with them, and of course, like I said, he shares a room with Billy, with Freddie Freeman, and again, Freddie Freeman's a super comic book nerd, and he's telling him, he shows him that he has the replica of the Batarang and the actual bullet, one of the bullets that bounced off the Superman and stuff. So you get this DC characters nod in there in this, and so when he becomes Shazam, Freddie Freeman is the first person he talks to, and you see them testing their powers, testing his powers and stuff, and just basically enjoying it and having a good time. And then, but you see, as friends, sometimes you get on each other's nerves, and you can see after a while, because Freddie Freeman gets kind of cocky with it, and he kind of wants to use Shazam a little bit, okay, and Shazam and of course Billy Batson kind of resents that, and then you see Billy Batson, he becomes selfish too, and Freddie Freeman tries to tell him and school him and tell him, listen, this is not how a superhero acts, because Billy is using his his powers to basically panhandle for money and stuff, and get money, and do tricks with lightning and stuff, and he's trying to tell him, Freddie's trying to tell him, listen, this is not how a superhero acts, okay? You're doing everything the opposite of what a superhero acts. You're being greedy and selfish, okay? Okay, so you get that dynamic in this movie, which I really like, because you see an evolution of his character, of Billy Batson being standoffish and kind of selfish to becoming friends with Freddie, and then they have their falling out until and then he has to come together, to basically save his foster family. And again, what I loved in this movie, again, a villain, like I said, a movie is good as its villain, and what I love, especially when they show in the beginning part of the movie when Mark Strong, Dr. Zavanna, becomes Dr. Zavanna, you actually see the seven deadly sins in this movie, and I thought the way they portrayed them was absolutely fantastic. Sort of like the Mummy movies, you know how the, the characters dissolve like that. And that's how they used, I guess, the CGI to show you the seven deadly sins. And I thought the way they portrayed it in the movie was absolutely fantastic. Okay, and but what I loved again, Dr. Savannah, he was rejected because he was almost tempted by the seven deadly sins when the wizard called him to see if he was worthy, and he failed the test because he got tempted by the seven deadly sins, and the wizard sends him back, and then he spends basically most of his young adult life and into his adulthood trying to get back to that place, that the cave of eternity, to try to, get that power. Okay, and he actually does. He actually finds out. He's actually keeping track of all the people that the wizard has been basically testing and found not worthy. He's listening to their descriptions and stuff, and he's trying to find out exactly how to get back to that place. I thought again, Mark Strong made a good villain, and he played that part right. There's a sequence, and when he goes to his father's company, okay, and his father's there with the board of directors and his brother, and this scene really surprised me for a kid-friendly movie, where basically Dr. Savannah comes in, and he basically tells his father, you treated me like crap, you didn't believe me and stuff when I told you what I saw, okay, but now I have the power now, and his brother threatens to throw him out, and he basically literally throws his brother out the window to his death, okay, right in front of everybody, okay, and then of course, then you see the seven deadly sins appear out of, normally they're in Dr. Savannah's body, but they all come out, okay, and they basically just tear apart the people in that boardroom. And the way it played out was just absolutely chilling. It was, again, like a horror movie, and which kind of makes sense because the director obviously, is famous for directing horror movies, and it actually was a chilling scene to play. And of course, John Glover, that magnificent bastard who's playing Dr. Savannah's father, he's sitting there all terrified, and the way he leaves before, and he tells his father like he's not going to kill him, and then he goes, you know what, kill him, and that. I forgot which creature he let him. I think it's was it gluttony or envy, whatever it was. He walks out as that one creature just absolutely devours his father, and it's just a chilling scene to watch, especially in a superhero kid movie, which shows you what the stakes are in this movie, and it was a chilling scene to watch. Okay, and one of my other favorite scenes in this movie is towards the end of the movie where basically the family is on the run. The Foster family is on the run with Shazam, getting chased by because the wizard obviously wants to absorb his power, get the power from Shazam, and he actually grabs the staff from the for Dr. Savannah, and I guess he's using the wisdom of Solomon to figure out I can share my power, and then he tells, and this scene was. It was a great scene, and it was actually funny the way it played out. When he tells all his foster brothers and sisters, grab my staff and say my name so you can share my power. And they say his name, Billy, which was funny. He said, no, Shazam. And they say Shazam, and then you see them all change into, I was going to say Marvel family, but, well, yeah, technically they are the Marvel family, but, I guess it'd be the Shazam family now for legal reasons. Okay, and I thought it was absolutely fantastic. Adam Brody played the grown-up Freddie Freeman. You had what's her name? Damn, it's gonna kill me. I can't remember the actress right now who played the grown-up Darla. Damn, I can't. Jeez, it's gonna drive me crazy. I'll put it over the video of what her name was, but I thought she was great as well. And you got to see those kids as grown up, and so basically you got the Marvel family there to assist them to fight the seven deadly sins, and that was absolutely fantastic. I was kind of spoiled about the Adam Brody playing the grown-up Freddie Freeman, or Captain Marvel Jr. I guess it'll be Shazam Jr. in this universe. But I kind of read something about that, so I kind of knew expect that. But I didn't expect all of them to do that in his first film. I thought it was just going to be Freddie, but it was actually a fantastic scene to watch, and it's going to drive me crazy. Hold on, if I can't remember what her name is. Hold on. Let me see. I'm trying to look it up real quick because it's gonna drive me crazy. Who played the grown-up? Yeah, hold up. Megan Good. I'm sorry. Geez, that's right. Megan Good. She played the grown-up Darla. But anyway, when they grabbed that staff and said Shazam, and then you see all of them together with Shazam, that was actually a beautiful scene. I absolutely love that scene. That scene was, again, one of my favorites. That, you know, you see them all with the powers and stuff, and they help fight the 7 deadly sins. And I absolutely loved, again, I thought Megan Good was great as the older Darla. You know, and she got to use her powers and stuff, and you got to see all of them use their powers and stuff. And then Adam Brody, he had a few lines, I think, and Megan Good, I think those are the 2 characters that had the most lines. The other kids, you know, they got to use their powers as well and stuff. But those 2 to me were standouts because, you know, as grown-up versions of the Foster kids, because they got lines and they were actually doing stuff. You know, they actually got to use their powers in cool ways. And I thought that was absolutely fantastic. And that was like a real treat for me to see the grown-up Marvel family all together in this movie with them at the end helping them fight. And again, there were great scenes. Like I like the scene at the towards the end where he was fighting Dr. Savannah and they were hovering above the city, and you see them. Dr. Savannah starts monologuing about what he's going to do to Shazam, and he's like a mile apart, and he can't really hear him. And he says, "You know, I hear you going, I can't hear you. You know, all I see is you moving your mouth, but I can't understand what you said." And then he says, "Screw it," and then it charges towards him. And I thought that was absolutely hilarious. Again, Zachary Levi is absolutely great with the comedy and stuff, and he did good with the action too in this movie as well. And again, just so many great things I love about this movie. And again, it came down to, you know, again, family, because again, that moment where Billy goes to find his mother, okay, and his mother basically tells him the truth that she was 17 years old and she rejected him, and that she purposely left him instead of, you know, claiming him, because she says she was 17 and her husband had left her, and she figured out the foster system would be better, could take better care of you than I could. And she basically said, look, well, you made it on your own. You look, you did well. But you could just see how it just crushed Billy's heart for her to say that. It just absolutely destroyed him. And you see him walking away, and it's just at that moment you see where he makes that decision, because soon after that he gets a phone call that Dr. Savannah has the rest of the family and he has to go rescue them. Okay, and again, that's when he realized what a real family is. And I absolutely love those, so many good moments in this movie like that. And I just, again, this movie brought a big smile to my face, and I really, really enjoyed this movie. Now, of course, there's we heard the rumor that, you know, they were trying to get Superman to have a cameo in this movie. And now, one of the producers of this movie is Dwayne Johnson, Jeff Johns, Danny Garcia, who's the ex-wife of The Rock. Okay, now I was hoping for a cameo from The Rock as Black Adam, but that's not there. There is a cameo, although you don't see his face. There's a scene towards the end of the movie. I guess during the post credits, not post credit, during the credit, just before it goes off, so it's not post credits. Because there's a part in the movie where Freddie Freeman, you know, in front of the bullies, he said, "Listen, I know this new superhero guy in town. He's gonna have lunch with me tomorrow." And basically, Billy doesn't show up, so he basically get wedgied. Okay, so towards the end of the movie, where he's sitting down, Freddie Freeman sitting down at lunch, and you see his foster brothers and sisters, they all come and sit and eat with him, even though they're not technically supposed to be, you know, at their lunch period. But they say, you know, we're gonna eat with you to show, you know, we're family, which I thought was a nice, sweet moment. And then you see I was gonna say Captain Marvel, Shazam walk in and say, "Hey," with lunch, say, "Hey, this is my best friend, Freddie Freeman. Hey, I'm gonna eat lunch with him like I always do. He taught me everything I know about superhero." So of course, you know, all the kids are watching this, and then you have one other person too, and then you see Superman, except for his head. You just see the guy walking with the costume on and lunch, and he gets ready to sit down, and the look on Freddie Freeman's face, and then it goes off like that. And I thought that was a nice, sweet way to get Superman the cameo in there, even though we, you know, like I said, we'd have preferred So that's my only, Henry Cavill. But like I said, they're still negotiating that. So hopefully they resolve that, and hopefully he will be in a future Shazam movie or future Justice League together with Zachary Levi. But anyway, as far as nitpicks are concerned for this movie, I guess, well, that's more of my nitpicks is some people had a problem with the CGI. I didn't have no problem with the CGI. I thought CGI was absolutely fantastic in this movie. Again, this movie I think didn't have that big a budget. I think this movie was like $100 million. I think in terms of special effects and everything else. I don't think so. It was a lower budget towards the superhero movies, but I didn't have a problem with the CGI. I thought the CGI for the Seven Deadly Sins was actually pretty good, all things considered. Now, as far as nitpicks are concerned, let's see. I'm trying to think what I didn't like. Let's see. I'm trying to think. Hold on. I'm trying to think what I didn't like. I'm trying to think. Overall, I'm thinking. I liked it. I'm trying to think what I didn't like. I think I liked it. Although, like I said, maybe they could have spent a little bit more time with the foster kids, just so you could you'd have been more. Because I think that's specifically Pedro. I think that's the foster kid. You didn't hear that kid speak. I think he barely had any lines, and the other kid, I think Eugene. Was it Eugene? Yeah, Eugene. The other kid who's like the nerdy guy that plays the games all the time. He had a few lines, but I think for the most part it was mostly Freddie, even of course Mary and Darla. They had the most lines, so you didn't get to know all of those foster kids. To me there wasn't enough scenes with them together as a family to kind of buy that instant bond. Even though I did buy the bond towards the end of the movie where they're all together, where they're looking for Billy and stuff, and then they get captured and they're running from Dr. Savannah and stuff, and so you get that interaction with them. But I think I would have liked to see more family scenes just so you could get that sense of bonding with them. I think that could have been definitely written better. But I think other than that, I think I liked pretty much everything else in this movie. Again, my favorite scenes again was the Marvel family showing up. Again, I love that. Or Shazam family, I guess you're gonna say. And Dr. Savannah going nuts in that boardroom. That was a scary scene. That was a really, really scary scene. And I like the origin of Dr. Savannah when he was a kid, when he went to the wizard. When the wizard plucked him at first, I thought that was good. I thought that was a great scene too, as well, setting up Dr. Savannah's origin. Okay, I thought that was really good. So, and there is a post-credit scene where Dr. Savannah's in jail, scribbling those words. I guess the symbols. I guess because he's trying to get back to that cave of eternity, so he's scribbling. But he has no more powers anyway, because Shazam basically took the powers out of his eyeball, took the power from him. So he's basically writing all over the walls, trying to figure out a way to get back again. When he actually he sees this worm there, right? It was a caterpillar. I think it's a worm called Dr. Mind. It's a comic book character which I don't know that much about, but he's basically telling Dr. Savannah that there's 7 realms and stuff, other places that you can go and stuff and get power. And he's basically telling him, follow me. I'm going to show you things, basically. So I guess that's setting up the next movie. Okay, like I said, I don't know that much about that character, but I've been reading or hearing about it from different people and stuff. So that character, it's a whole big backstory with that character, but was the after credit scene just showing that. And then there's a after credit scene which shows actually Billy and Shazam. He's trying to talk to a fish, and he said this is a dumb. He's basically still trying to figure out his powers. He said this is a dumb power, talking to fish. How useful is that? And then Billy explains to him because he has the Aquaman. Freddie Freeman explains to him because he has the Aquaman shirt on. He said that's what you mean when you can talk to fish. You can communicate. You can control the 7 seas. Basically, you control all wildlife in the seas. That would be an awesome power. And so yeah, that would. And then it cuts off. But overall, I enjoyed this movie a lot. Again, my favorite scenes, the boardroom scene, that was chilling and awesome, and the Marvel family, I thought that was fantastic. Uh, when Dr. Savannah comes after Shazam, this is right after him and Billy have a fight. Uh, After he causes the bus accident and he saves the bus, and then that's when him and Freddie Freeman have that little fallout, and Freddie kind of walks away angry with him, and that's when Dr. Savannah walks up to him, telling him, Chosen One, give me your power, and they have this freaking awesome looking fight, which turns into Billy running, basically running away because he's never had to face somebody that was as strong as him, and so and that I love the way. And again, screw what people say about Zack Snyder. That fight where you see them going up in the clouds and fighting and stuff, and there's an awesome scene where Dr. Savannah punches him and he's falling down and falling down, and he's trying to will himself to fly, and he stops himself just before he crashes, and then he literally basically learns how to fly on the fly while he's battling Dr. Savannah, and I thought that was very well done. Okay, and the use of his powers I thought was well done in this movie. The super speed, the hyper speed, the use of electricity, the strength, the flight. I thought very well done for a movie that's not one of the top budget superhero movies. I thought they did a very good job with all that stuff. And again, I enjoyed it a lot. Again, 8.5 for me. That's what I did in my spoiler-free review, and that's going to be in my spoilers review. 8.5 for me. I love this movie. I want to see it again. Okay, I definitely highly recommend it to everybody. Go see it, and I can't wait till this character is involved in hopefully with further other DC movies. Okay, maybe the Justice League Part 2 whenever they make it, or even a Superman movie when hopefully they make another one. Okay, I definitely enjoyed this character. Definitely want to see these characters again. I definitely want to see the Marvel family again, or the Shazam family. I guess I have to say that. I thought they did a great job with the older versions of the young kids. Again, Megan Good as Dollar and Adam Brody as a grown-up Freddy. I thought who really was standouts when the Marvel family got their powers. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. Anyway, I loved it. Go see it. DC is on a roll. Anyway, let me know what you think. Feel free to leave those comments down below. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. What your nitpicks are. If you enjoyed it or not. Tell me what you're looking forward to in the future. Do you want Black Adam to show up? I do. Okay. I definitely want to see if they're gonna give Rock a solo movie. He needs to get on top. I know Rock's busy doing a lot of movies and stuff, but either commit to it, Rock, or step out the way and let somebody else be Black Adam. Okay, as far as I'm concerned, because it seems like he's been wanting to be Black Adam for like the past 10 years. Okay, so either get off the pot, Rock. I know he's a producer of this movie, which is good. So it seems like he's committed to it. So let's get cracking. Okay, film the solo. You want to film the solo Black Adam movie? Do it, and then be in the sequels to Shazam. Okay, you need to get on it, Rock. I know you've got a lot of movies, but come on. Okay, if you don't, move out of the way. Let somebody else step up to the plate. Anyway, let me know what you think. Feel free to leave comments down below. Links to my social media in the description box: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. A link to my main channel, Trepacer, is in the description box as well, where you can see my spoiler-free review. But at this point, you probably, if you stick along this long, there's no need to watch that. Anyway, and this is Paul saying so long and take care.